Hey Gemini, welcome to your March 2025 monthly reading. We're just going to go ahead and get started and jump straight in. I hope you're doing well. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, that link is down below in the description. At this time, I still am running a sale on my readings. So if you're curious, again, that link will be down below. Gemini. I bet Gemini is struggling with all this Pisces energy. I bet Geminis are like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing makes sense. I see you really here trying to really make sense out of things currently with the Page of Swords being in your challenge. Because all this Pisces energy squares you, right? And we have the Sun in Pisces right now. Your ruling planet Mercury's in Pisces. Saturn's in Pisces. Neptune's in Pisces. North Node's in Pisces. And Pisces deals with the abstract and the intuition and intuitive energies, emotional energies as well. And Gemini, you're a sign of logic and being rational and just things making sense, right? Being able to understand ideas and stuff like that. But Pisces really, and I think I said this to you in your last reading, and I think this is why this is coming through again, that Pisces is really trying to stretch your mind. And you could be trying to make sense of it all with the Page of Swords being in your challenge. Also at this time, I do pick up that you could be having miscommunications. I mean, Mercury being in Pisces is not the best place for it to be to communicate. Or when it comes to communication and conversations, things can get blurred, distorted. Things can become misunderstood. Think about Mercury being in Pisces. It's actually very intelligent. Like, our minds become very intelligent and very aware. But what happens is the debilitation of it is when we're trying to translate it and communicate it. That's when it becomes blurry, or where we become misunderstood, because it's so abstract that it's hard to put language to it. So let's see here. Yeah. A lot going on though this month. We have a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Aries. We have a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And Venus is retrograde in Aries. Mercury's going to retrograde in Aries. And then Neptune comes into Aries. And so all this is a very big deal. I think all this Aries energy does benefit you creatively, Gemini. And for you, it is in your 11th house of enjoyment. So when it comes to communities, friendships, relationships, you know, the stuff that you participate in, what you find enjoyable, I think a lot of things you're like re-examining a lot of these things, which is why this Page of Swords here. And I think you're ready to, we're going to jump into the tarot in a moment because there's already a lot coming through, but the Lovers being your advice is about establishing relationship. And the Lovers is you, Gemini, and you're brilliant at establishing relationship. That's you, right? That's what you do. And so with Mercury being retrograde and Venus being retrograde, both planets deal with relationship, cooperation, into the 11th house of friendships, community. There could be things here that you're trying to understand more here going into the month of March. This may not make sense right now, but it possibly could be making sense. Because there's a lot going on in your career at this time with all this Pisces energy. You're actually being asked to stretch your mind and to understand that the sky really is the limit for you when it comes to your career and who you want to be with all that Pisces energy. Because literally you need to open up to your ideals here, to the ideal life, ideal career. And although it could be, you know, difficult, or maybe it's, you know, it's something that you're not used to, but I think you got to give yourself a chance here. You pulled this Yod card. It says destiny. Yeah, it's your destiny. You may have a Yod in your chart. I would definitely check out your chart. But Yod is the finger of God, and in a way, you may feel a little bit out of control at this time. And it's interesting because that's what eclipses will do. So we have, again, the solar eclipse in Aries, partial solar eclipse, and then we have the lunar eclipse in Virgo. And eclipses do deal with fate and destiny because they connect to the nodes, and the nodes connect to fate and destiny. The north node's about the future, south node's about the past. And I think here that, you know, some things are outside of your control at this time. I got to be real. I think you're being pushed in new directions, and I feel like Spirit's saying trust, like have faith, trust. Don't try to control everything or try to make sense out of everything right now. I think looking back, you'll be able to connect the dots. But that's that Pisces energy, right? Because Pisces deals with trust and faith and surrender and allowing. Because Gemini, you're quick and fast. Like he's like you know, Pisces it's more slow. It's more contemplative and introspective and reflective, right? And likes to take its time with things, to examine things, go deep into things. And Gemini, that's not you, right? Like you're just like, okay, here's all the information, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like you're kind of all over the place. And that's good. I'm not making fun of you, Gemini. I have Gemini placements, right? It's just different, right? Gemini, you're air. Air is fast, right? Air is just all over the place. Water's kind of still. There's something faded though happening. You pull this, adjustments are required at this time, and I think that's exactly what you're trying to do with this Page of Swords being in your challenge. There's a bit of a crisis here going on because this is the third quarter moon, and so this is the last part of that last quarter moon before we come into a new moon. So it's like you're letting go of things. It's like you've seen how everything has manifested. You've kind of you've already gone through the peak experience of what your difficulties have been. And so now this last part is like making those last adjustments here so that way you can get ready for new things. And that's even what the astrology reflects. You pull this ocean card, it says waves. Yeah, and Pisces rules the ocean. In the waves. So you're learning how to be intuitive and fluid here and how to surrender to uncertainty at this time. Because Gemini, you're not a sign that deals with, you don't deal with uncertainty, you want certainty. But that's the beautiful thing about Pisces is that, well, wait, let's really dive into it and let's see, because there's more out that we can become aware of here. So let's see here. You pulled the Emperor here for your overall energy. Yeah, and you may have Aries in your chart, but the Aries energy specifically is really being highlighted here. But if we really want to take this to the next level here, this is about your career. The Emperor does deal with the CEO, right? The ruler. Not the ruler. I didn't mean to say the ruler, but some of y'all act like a ruler. But the one that builds everything. So things going on in regards to your career and work is like you're really trying to level up. That's what the Emperor is, right? And it's also the Aries energy, things connected with your community as well, the 10th house, 11th house connection. The work that you do, what you're known for, career, and then what comes with that after that. So it could be like community, but also being able to, it could be like certain things that you're connected to with people, places, things, your networks. So all that's really being emphasized here. But the Emperor does deal with Aries. It's your sense of identity here. And so things are shifting and changing here. And you're established. There's going to be so much new energy here in the month of March to where your identity is going to shift naturally. The way you identify with things is definitely going to shift. But it's going to create a more solid sense of self here and give you more confidence. But it definitely is a process that you're trying to make sense of. And things are probably all over the place right now. You have the Queen of Cups here in your current energy. Yeah, and I think right now it's like you're learning how to kind of be this Queen of Cups energy. Queen of Cups is water. We have all this water, the astrology. So it's like you're learning how to be more fluid, more adaptable, more introspective, reflective, more nurturing, more caring, more soft, more still. You could really be prioritizing your own well-being at this time and focusing on your own, emotional well-being. You have the Page of Swords here in your challenge. This is you trying to make sense out of things. Because this Lover's card is your advice. The Lovers, yes, it deals with love. So maybe, I do pick up, yes, you're probably looking for love if you're single. I don't feel like it's going to be in March. I feel like it's probably going to be in like April. To be honest with you, I wouldn't enter into anything new with Venus being retrograde in Aries and if like a Mercury retrograde that's going to be in Aries. It's just not the time. But, you have to always heed your own intuition. But what I think here, though, with the Lovers, it deals with establishing relationship to things. So I think your advice here is to be open and receptive to establishing new forms of relationships. And I think that's what's going to be happening for you in the month of March with Venus and Mercury retrograding in your 11th. Because ultimately with the Lovers too, it's about the things that you are attached to or that you do identify with, or the relationships that you do have established. And are those things taking you higher in your life, or are they bringing you lower? So your advice is to connect to things, bridge relationship with things that are going to take you to the next level. Right? So that, the lovers could be like your soul family, finding your soul family, finding your soul tribe, creating your soul tribe, creating your soul family, finding the right love, right? So you pulled the Queen of Pentacles here in the future position. I would say your money and your resources look good here with the Queen of Pentacles. I think you're going to be reviewing a lot of things here as well. I see you very fidgety here. It's almost as if there's just a lot you have to do. There's a lot you want to create. And it's almost like you're antsy here in a bit. You're antsy here a bit. But I don't think it's in a bad way. It's just because it's like, I think all this Aries energy that we'll have in March, it's almost like firing you up. It's stimulating that air. It's like bringing that heat, bringing that passion to create. So we'll see what that's about. You have the Eight of Cups here in the outcome position. Yeah, it's almost like you leave the month with a lot of questions, but not in a bad way. Like you get a lot of answers, but also too, it gives you the answers that you need. But there's still so much more here that it's almost like you're not satisfied. Like you're proud but not satisfied. So it's like you're constantly seeking out more and more here. And we'll see exactly what it is that you're seeking with the Eight of Cups. But I also think too, you're able to let go of emotionally and spiritually things that don't serve you anymore, things that you don't align with anymore. You pull the Eight of Swords here in the position of something you're unaware of that you need to be aware of here. Yeah, Eight of Swords, you got to stretch your mind. It's very interesting because the Eight of Swords is Jupiter and Gemini, and Jupiter's in your sign. So you're wanting to connect to that positivity, that optimism, and your soul is going through a growing period at this time. But with all this Pisces energy, you're like trying to make sense of it all. And Jupiter and Gemini is like, it's expanding off an idea. It's expanding off the truth. It's expanding off of what makes sense. And it deals with conversation and connecting with conversations, specifically in the social sphere, the social realm, right? But with all this Pisces energy, it's like everything's confusing because there's so much to discover. So you have to dive deeper into it. And so one of the things here that I feel with the Eight of Swords is something to be aware of is to keep an open mind and it's because one thing about the Eight of Swords is like we can attach ourselves to a dogma or a belief that we feel is 100% true. We feel is 100% true, and that's why the person's blind. So it's not until you dive deeper into things and you do the research and you really examine things on a deep level that you start to realize, oh, yeah, I don't resonate with this. Oh, I got the truth now. Oh, I can dissolve these old rigid beliefs, mindsets. Let's clarify your read. One of the things I said in the recent horoscope that I did, actually for this week, February 24th through March 2nd, was that with Mercury coming on the North Node and with Neptune and all this Pisces energy, I'm like, this is us really evolving, having to evolve our minds and the way we think. That is more, it has to be more abstract and more universal. It's like really questioning like what really is reality. And that doesn't mean, that it's all, unicorns and stuff, right? That's not what I'm saying. But it's like what you think is reality, you don't really know until you do a lot of research and you really contemplate things, you go deeper into things, Pisces. And then you discover more and more and more. And it's like it forces you to think more holistically and more universally. That, there's so much more outside my perception. Clarify the Emperor for the overall energy. You have the Eight of Pentacles here. Well, I feel like you're well on your way here, Gemini, to some form of a glow up, leveling up. I don't want to say glow up, but I think it's a level up, specifically when it comes to your work and what you're doing in regards to work. The Emperor, Eight of Pentacles is self-mastery, something that you're mastering, something that you've been doing, and I see you getting better and better and better at it. Clarify the Queen of Cups in your current energy. I think you also have this very emotional, supportive, care energy. Like you emotionally support people and you care for people very deeply. And I think you have that gift of like empathy and compassion here with the Queen of Cups. And so that's a skill that you have specifically when it comes to the Hierophant, whether it's teaching others, guiding others. Or will just support you in general with the Hierophant. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable, or you know what I'm saying? Clarify the Page of Swords in your challenge. You pull the Nine of Cups here. Yeah, it's like you're looking for things to make sense because you want to feel sure about things. But you're also looking for Page of Swords, Nine of Cups. I think one thing that you're... like when it comes to... like when it comes to like your dreams and your visions, it's like I see you almost, you're probably struggling with like having to logically have it all figured out. When the Nine of Cups says just take just take action and have trust and faith that everything will work out. That's the Pisces energy. That doesn't mean sit idle and do nothing. It means take care of the things that you can take care of. Don't stress about the things that you don't know yet. Don't stress about all the don't try to plan too far ahead. Don't try to think too far ahead, right? Especially if it's just giving you difficulty. It's like just be in the moment. Nine of Cups, being in the now. Clarify the Lovers as the advice. You pull the Wheel of Fortune here. Yeah, and that would be, this card does connect to the odd Destiny card. The cyclic nature of the universe, the seasons of change, but the Wheel of Fortune is always good transitions, and it represents fortune, literally it represents positivity. It's also connected to the archetype of Jupiter. Jupiter's in your sign. So here it is, Jupiter's with the Lovers. The Lovers is you, Gemini, so Jupiter and Gemini is your advice. But as far as the tarot, I feel like your advice here is, the Wheel of Fortune says you can't control everything. Be open to what the universe is doing. Roll with the waves of the universe, like the waves, right? The ocean. It's like not trying to control the changes that are happening, but adapting to the changes, evolving with the changes here, and being open-minded and allowing yourself to establish connections to things that are going to bridge you higher and higher toward your ideal path here. The Wheel of Fortune being, as the advice always symbolizes, not trying to control everything. Because even with the Yod, you're not in control. I have a Yod on my chart, right? So it's like, yes, you have free will, you're in control. But for the most part, you kind of just feel like you're God's puppet. And that sometimes, even though you want to force things with your fucking will, God's like, no, it's not the right time. So that would be the Wheel of Fortune as the advice. Like, trust the timing. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Magician. Yeah, I knew it. It was, the Magician is an urgency to create. It's an urgency to find solutions, to get started with the process. And I remember I was like, I see you here being fidgety. It's like you have all this energy to channel and into your creative forces, right? So I see you being very creative and channeling a lot of energy into like your work and the things that you're building. And so I see you here being, what you're creating, being prosperous. Like you being able to expand what you're growing here. Yeah, clarify the Eight of Cups and the outcome. You have the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, and what you're walking away from is the old reality. Seven of Cups is the new reality, the new ideal reality. Your visions, your dreams, and your deep desires. And allowing yourself to be a dreamer. And opening up to your dreams. And even though you don't know how it's going to happen, I see you starting to find that trust and that faith here. Clarify the Eight of Swords in the position of something you're unaware of. You pull the Eight of Swords, Five of Pentacles here. Eight of Swords, Five of Pentacles is like a victim mentality, or falling into like victim consciousness. So I'll just be aware of that. I feel like so much is in your in your control here. But sometimes the Eight of Swords, Five of Pentacles, like we can create this narrative that things are never going to work out for us, so why try? And you know, it's just a matter of time before something bad happens. Or it's like we don't really trust in our own strength and our own ability to, oh, there it goes, the thumbs up, our own ability to get things done. And I feel like you have so much creative force behind you, Gemini, that I feel like Spirit's saying, like, don't waste this month. Yeah. So that's what I got for you, Gemini. I'm going to leave your reading here. I appreciate you for watching. Again, if you want to book a personal reading with me, the link's down below in the description. I am running a sale. Any questions you have, if you need clarity, confirmation, guidance, I'm definitely here for you. If you're new to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Otherwise than that, Gemini, I'm wishing you the best, and I'll see you later.